If I was stranded on an island with a computer and I could only use one AI, which one would it be? It'd be ChatGPT. And you might be saying, we already knew that. Everyone uses ChatGPT. I've tested all the main models, Google, Gemini, to DeepSeek, to Claude, to Perplexity, and I think ChatGPT is still the leader for most things. And there's a few things that the other models really kind of excel at. And I want to go over, I want to give you a deep dive into how I use ChatGPT, and hopefully you can come out with a few tips or tricks of the trade, things that you learn and can implement yourself in your own way that you use ChatGPT in your own workflow. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first tip is make sure you download the desktop version of ChatGPT as well as the mobile version. You need to have it on your phone and you need to have it on your computer because they're going to sync and you're going to get the most use out of your ChatGPT app when it's not just on your phone or it's not just on your computer. So this part will be a little bit more basic, but for those of you who are new, ChatGPT in general right now, as of filming this, GPT-4o is going to be the best for your general questions, especially on the free plan. If you're on the paid $20 a month plan, you'll get access to the 4.5 version, which is apparently better, but I haven't noticed a huge difference when I've been testing it, but it's still in a preview mode, so it's not fully released. And then there's all these other models that I don't use much. For the main 99% of what I do, I just leave it on 4.0, type what I want ChatGPT to do. Like for instance, I didn't even want to think about what to do for this AI video. So I took Matt Wolf, who's a great AI creator, and I basically said, similar to this, generate me hooks for my YouTube video about what AI I use the most. And then it gave me some hooks, and I took if I could only use one AI tool, it would be this, because I thought that's real and compelling. If I wanted a better prompt than this, I would just say, write me, or you are a prompt expert, write me a prompt to do the following. Okay, so now what we got is we got 10 hooks like this, under 65 characters. It's definitely more specific, like it wanted it under 65, it told it wanted to spark curiosity, gave it all these things it wants the AI to do, and now it's doing it. Thumbnail text ideas, that's cool. Not ChatGPT, daily use, it is ChatGPT. These were not bad. I like that it was like, here's what this type of headline is, it's curiosity. So doesn't always work, but it's a good way. I've definitely had times where just prompting AI, or ChatGPT in this case, to give me a better prompt works really well. The tip number 3 I'll give you is always prompt more than once if you want a good answer. I don't know if this is considered agentic or not, but basically there's different ways these AI systems work. But one is making it think and go through different steps creates better output. And you can do that with AI agents now and more complicated stuff. But one way I just do this is I don't ever accept the first result. So I'll give you a funny example. My dog Snoopy, one of my favorite things to do with 4.0's image generation capabilities is use it on my pets and do funny things, like we call him Sir Snoopy of Puerto Rico. And first, I always thought he needs a top hat and a pipe. So my first prompt was give the white dog black in front, a top hat, and a pipe. And then I said, that's not quite what I want. It's pretty good, actually. I love this. But then I was like, okay, remove the dog in the background and have the pipe have smoke coming out of it and give him a spectacle. Even better, in my opinion. It does a pretty good job of capturing Snoopy. But then I said, now cross his paws, because there's a funny thing he does in real life. He'll cross his paws, and I think it makes him look more gentlemanly. Then I was like, okay, let me ask AI, ChatGPT, how I can make him more distinguished. A more distinguished gentleman. Gave me all these ideas. And then I said, give him everything you just suggested. So I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4. In that 5 prompts, I got this. Amazing. But I actually thought it wasn't quite right because it doesn't quite look enough like him. And I said, make his eyes and paws a little pink. And then I got this, which I think is the best output. It looks the most like him. In real life, this is what he actually looks like. Go back to it again. And this is what I got. So that just shows, I mean, that was 5 or 6 going back and forth. And this will be across the board, I've found, with most of your prompts. If you go back and forth a few times, you're going to think of things, oh, I actually want this, or it's not quite right, or try this. And that's just like the main way I can have a much better prompting process with ChatGPT versus trying to think of everything right away. And even if you think of everything right away, it just seems to help when you're flowing through multiple prompts. Tip number 4 is you should have your ChatGPT. You can take this prompt if you want. I found that giving it some sort of way that you want it to respond to you is really good. There was a time when I basically had, it was like, give me a short long. So like summarize what you're going to say and then give me the long version. I ended up not liking that in the end, but this really helps. Just basically I'm just having a ChatGPT respond in a professional, clear, actionable manner. Make sure you have key points, incorporate citations when possible. And this does a really good job of just kind of a general prompt. Obviously you could have ChatGPT prompt itself and try to figure out like what traits, the best traits to have ChatGPT have. I haven't tested that many here. You also have the ability to add these little guys that I hadn't seen. Chatty, witty, straight shooting. I want it to be straight shooting. And then it just added that. Tell it like it is. Don't sugarcoat responses. I love that. And I want them to be opinionated. Readily share strong opinions, but also respectful. So I just updated mine a little bit more. And then I'm going to enable for new chats, so that I'll basically take this on in all my new chats and save it. You could also do these things up here. You could have your own name, so ChatGPT will address you by name, etc. Tip number 5 is record a super long voice memo to ChatGPT about your life and get a detailed response of your blind spots. But on the mobile version, you have the ability to click the microphone and record your voice into ChatGPT with like 99% accuracy in terms of what you say, which is like, well, I love the app because I can do that. But basically do like a 10-minute voice memo, just talk about your life and everything, and then basically have it like be like, okay, now give me my blind spots or what I'm not seeing. And it can give some really cool insights. This is a tip from my brother Ty. He did this and said he got like 20 interesting ideas that he hadn't thought about his own life. And I've done it. Honestly, I haven't done it to that extent, so I'll take my own advice. The reason I give that tip without doing it myself is I see the power of it. I've done it to a smaller extent, like a 5-minute voice memo about like a pretty big problem in my life at the time. And I got some really interesting actionable results. So the more detail you give ChatGPT in general, that's why going back and forth is nice, and giving it like prompts, longer prompts, better prompts. There's a whole thing called prompt engineering, can be really powerful because you can get better and better results as you prompt it more. I'll prompt it longer, or just record like a 10-minute voice memo, and you could type it all out, but in general, talking is way faster. Tip number 6 is click on everything. This is a thing I actually learned from Ty as well. I wasn't going to show you everything in ChatGPT, but I'll do a really quick speed run of everything I know that exists on here. And you can figure all this out by clicking things. And this is how you learn basically any tech tool or anything. You just click it all. So this opens and closes your sidebar. All your sidebar stuff is here. You can have projects where you basically put you can like put lots of different prompts into it. As you can click here to make a new chat, and it'll go here. These are stored in a descending order, time like new to old time. You can search through all of your custom GPTs that you want to add up here are basically added. I made this one, but these ones are other ones. I don't know why I have SOAR, to tell you the truth. It might just be ChatGPT gave that to me. You can make a temporary chat, so this won't keep any memories, which memories are basically ChatGPT will store things about you, and you can tell it to store memory like, hey, my name's Ben and I like music. And then it'll store that for future chats. But if you do temporary, it's not going to do that. Then all your tasks, honestly, never even used. You can have ChatGPT do things in the future. Good exercise by clicking. I don't use that. Let's try that. So this would be each weekday morning, suggest a 5-minute mindfulness exercise for me. Cool. So follow back up. It's supposed to do that every weekday morning. I like to experiment with new things. That's how I figure out anything. And I'm sure you figure things out is just by trying things out. You can see all your GPTs that you've made here. I made this one in a different account. You can customize ChatGPT how I showed you. You can have anything else you wanted to know. You can take away certain capabilities. You can upgrade your plan here to the $20 or $200 setting. And I have the $20 plan. And yeah, that's ChatGPT in a nutshell. And then here you have all your different models. that I talked about here. You can search the web, so you can enable search or not. If you put in an image, you can't search anymore. And then it has deep research, which is like where it'll go for 5 to 30 minutes and basically try to deeply research whatever topic you want it to research, which is really fun. Tip number 6 is be as creative as possible. What's going to allow you to get ahead no matter where you are in your AI journey. You might be super beginner, just hearing about ChatGPT, or someone super advanced building large language models. But no matter what, in my opinion, what's going to take you ahead is our ability as humans to be creative and to interact with technology. And what's going to set people apart is people who actually use, who action takers and creative thinkers who actually use these tools. So just because ChatGPT exists, just because all these other incredible AI tools exist, doesn't matter if you don't use them. Doesn't matter. Like, I'll find myself not like going back to my old ways of like trying to think myself when I'm like, I have literally nuclear power in my hand that I can access and talk to. Whether or not that makes your idea for you. Like, sometimes I like to think myself, obviously, and like solve a problem, but like, why wouldn't you use this free nuclear power, magical thing? So in my opinion, always utilize technology, and don't let it overtake you, and don't get too lost in the sauce, but make sure you're not getting too left behind. To not use AI right now, I think, is a little crazy. Tip number 7 is a little bit more just general, but you might be asking, what kind of prompts would it? My brother, who doesn't use AI as much, he was asking me, what do I prompt? And I prompt just everything I can. I'll be like, okay, what's the conversion rate of pints to cups? Didn't remember 2 cups in a pint. So I'll use it instead of Google. I'll research, okay, what's a different camera than the ZV-1 that doesn't overheat, and get an answer there. And then, or I'll have it like deep research cameras that hit this certain specification, or I'll have it help me with work, create a to-do list, or I want to create an image for fun, or I want to create a thumbnail image for this YouTube video. There's just so many use cases all the time. If you, in any sort of personal work, professional work, and it's only getting better from here. Like the 4.0 image generation just came out, and it's so good. Like, there's so many real use cases you can do with that. Again, check out that video if you haven't. And while you're at it, like this video and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. If you want to, help me out, that's kind of the currency. If you like this video, if you don't, all good. But yeah, just use ChatGPT to be an extension of your mind. There's no reason not to. Prompt everything. Prompt. You're going to get better at it. You're going to figure things out. You're going to figure out, maybe you like Perplexity more. Maybe you like Gemini for certain things. Maybe, ChatGPT isn't your jam, but you got to try all these tools out to really figure out if they're good or not. I love to try new tools out when I see like a person make a video on it, or I hear about it in a newsletter or Twitter or whatever. You got to try it out. And then from there, digest it and figure out what's good for you. Keep it. So those are my top 7 tips for ChatGPT. Hopefully you learned something and can action something from this video. Again, if you like this video, like it, give me a subscribe. I appreciate it. I'm Ben, and I love to shoot videos on AI news, AI marketing, and just the general world of AI. I've been fascinated with it really since a little bit before ChatGPT came out 2 or 3 years ago, whatever that was, and have wanted to make videos about it ever since, because I'm like, I might as well be, because I would just read about it and watch it and use it all the time. So here I am, and we'll see how this goes. It's a new project. If you like it, hope you can support it. Keep on watching the videos, and leave a comment about how I can improve these videos. I love criticism, or what you thought about this video, something that intrigued you or you learned from it. I'll see you on the next video.